Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's the weekend!
Warriors! Warriors! Come to play!
Yeah! Here we go! Good Saturday morning, everybody. We're broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm Rob Romano, alongside Arizona superfan Mr. AZ Sports. And this is the Weekend Warriors, minus Neil Lynch today.
Yeah, we're missing
Lynch.
Neil. How sad.
Kind of feels good. There's more room.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice. I get to talk more, too, since he's gone. So this is great.
He won't cut in on you and say his Neil-isms.
If you want to be part of the show, text us at 888-368-1580. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, give us a text and be part of the conversation. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
We have way too much.
We're not going to get through it.
Not even half.
There's no way. But we got a tiny bit of NHL, we've got NFL news, and we've got a whole bunch of MLB deadline stuff. So
and there's some Sun stuff now.
Oh, you want to start with that? You want to break it?
Oh yeah, it looks like if you guys have not been following, Tyus Jones might be coming to the Suns. John Gamble, actually the best Suns insider, just tweeted that there's a real chance that the Suns landing Tyus Jones, and that would be probably the biggest win for the Suns because the Suns need a point guard. And if you can get that type of player on a veteran minimum, that could change the whole team next season.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they need, right? If you can get those guys to come in to make no money and just be a big part of the team, that's what the Lakers did forever. You get those guys to come in and boom, you win. So I agree with you. That's a game changer if they can.
The question would be, does he start? He would have to.
I would think so.
But then you're pretty small with Tyus Jones, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. That's not a big lineup.
Well, you're not big now.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's good news. So interesting news. Let's stay kind of with the Suns owner. I know we talked about this a little bit, but Matt Ishbia, and there's a bunch of news out there this week that he wanted to be part of bringing the Coyotes back. Did you see that at all?
Yes, I saw that. The Coyotes, Matt Ishbia did an interview that he wants to buy the Coyotes. Now, if you didn't see the interview, he just asked if he would be interested, and he said he would be. But Craig Morgan, the best insider for all Coyotes news, did state that there's other groups that have potential, the keyword's potential, to make it happen faster. So it is going to be interesting to see if Ishbia can pull this off. If he does, he's going to go down as the GOAT owner for Arizona sports. I already think he might be with the way he's treating the Phoenix Suns.
The way he's talking, I think he wants to be, right? He's talking about, this is a great city. We need to have all sports, all four of them, right? He's trying to be that guy.
There's 10 teams, 10 NHL and NBA teams who share arenas already. So the Suns and Coyotes would potentially be number 11th. They couldn't do it at Footprint, though. So that's the question.
Why?
Because the way they remodeled it, they would have to do more renovations. But I've heard from some people who worked for the Coyotes that they've heard that Ishbia doesn't love Footprint. So could they leave possibly downtown and create a new arena? I don't know. But where would they play is the question that they have to figure out first. And that's a big hurdle because Footprints just right now would need a lot of renovations to fit the Coyotes in.
Well, he's locked into a lease there till 2036.
Correct, but would the city of Phoenix maybe change it if they could let him buy the Coyotes, bring him back for the state? Could he break the lease? We don't know the contracts behind it, but could he
renovate and put money into Footprint?
He could, but that would be a lot of work because the way they did the stadium, the seats are like permanent now, so you'd have to take out like the first 10 rows and make them adjustable then. So it would take a lot of money and a lot of work when they just put money into it if they don't even love Footprint to begin with.
Yeah, no, I think ultimately he wants to build a new place, but I mean, you're talking 12 years from now that he's locked in, unless they let him out of the lease.
Unless they let him out.
So, yeah, if they let him out, I mean, again, the reason the Coyotes left supposedly was because of an arena issue, and now there would be the same thing with this situation as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like they got to find a place to play. That's the big deal, which that seems to be no one wants to provide a place.
No one wants to deal with that, but okay, well. I thought it was interesting it came out. He kind of reminds me, I'm trying to remember the guy's name that bought the LA Kings, and he was the guy that wanted to do everything and everyone back in the 80s and 90s. but then he wound up doing something illegal and got tossed. But anyway, I think it's cool that he's trying to be part of the community, and he's talking to, like he's all in, right? He's all in Phoenix, and he wants to be a big part of it here, and I think that's really good. And that's what the city needs. They need a guy like that. He's worth $10 billion or whatever he's worth.
Just like
10.1 billion, I think.
10 billion.
Yeah, so guys that have that kind of money, I'd probably want to take over a city too.
It'd be awesome if he bought the Coyotes, and then in a few years he bought the Diamondbacks, and he just owned all three of those. I don't know if he could ever buy the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are probably worth like 6 or 7 billion, but
are they?
yeah,
okay.
NFL teams are getting expensive.
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
It's the best investment you can do.
Well, that's a perfect segue. So I wanted to talk about this. I saw this and I thought it was interesting. There's a list that came out of the major 4 sports, right? All the 4 sports, football, baseball, basketball, and hockey, and their revenue breakdown for the year last year, right? So who do you think was at number 1? Think about it. Come on.
NFL.
Yeah, 18.7 billion dollars in the NFL.
Insane.
That's their revenue. 65% of that was from the media deals. 17% were ticket sales. 10% were team sponsors. That's interesting. 10.7% were 10.
That's a lot of sponsorship.
6% commissions.
Okay.
That makes sense. And then local TV and media was 1%.
Wow.
That's okay. Number 2. Who's number 2?
NBA.
MLB.
MLB. Wow, good. I guess how many games they had is hard. It's hard to compete.
Like 10.91. It's really close. $10.91 billion.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the same thing. Like, actually, the funny thing is their ticket sales were 31%, which was higher than the 26% they get from the media deal. So because they have so many games, right? Like you just said, that's where the majority of their revenue comes from.
Is the games?
31%, 26 from media, 10 from the team sponsors, and 10 from concessions, which I thought was interesting. But they also get like 23% from local media, right?
That's kind of surprising.
NFL gets 1%. They get 23%.
I guess because there's just 162
right, there's
games.
162
It's just
games.
I mean, I've been going to all of them. It's a lot of games.
Real quick on the text line. So they just reminded me who the Kings owner was that I was talking about. It was 1256 just texted in and said it was Bruce McNall. Yep, that was the guy. Bruce McNall was the guy that came in, bought the Kings, brought Gretzky over, and just created this whole bunch of noise around the Kings for years until something happened. I can't remember what it was. If you remember what it was, 1256, text me. But then he had to go away. Third, who's third? Is it the NBA or the NHL?
Has to be NBA.
It is the NBA.
And I was like, if it's not the NBA's failing.
Well, remember I said like 10.91 billion for MLB. It's like 10.9 for the NBA.
Yeah.
So it's right there. So their breakout, and I would know that 41% is from their media. They get huge media deals, right? 26% from tickets because they're so darn expensive.
That's true.
Right? 8% from concessions, and then it's like 13% from local media. Still not bad.
That's not bad.
And then the hockey NHL is last at 6.8 billion. Oh, you poor
thing.
6.8 billion. Boo hoo.
But a lot of people don't watch hockey. So.
19% from national media. They don't have big media deals. 44% ticket sales. They're all ticket sales, and they play 82 games. Yeah. 12 concessions and 11 from local media.
Have you been following like all the subscriptions you're going to need for the NBA next season? For the new, not next season, but for the new media deals like Peacock, Amazon, all those things. It's absolutely wild how many people are getting involved because there's just so much money in sports.
Yeah, no, I agree. But football, we've talked about this before on the show. Football is Godzilla, right? I mean, they are Godzilla being big.
Yeah, I got your reference.
You know who Godzilla is?
Yes, I'm old enough to know what Godzilla is.
Do you know who the Gargantuans are?
No idea what you're talking about. What are we talking about?
You need to look up the Gargantuans because they were cool. There was a brown one and a black one, and they used to fight and they would eat people. So like when I was young, I'd watch the Gargantuans on TV, and they would literally it's Japanese, right? And they would grab the Japanese lady that was walking in the street, and they would chew on her and then spit out her clothes.
See, I do like movies, but only type of movies I really watch are like documentaries or like nerd Marvel or DC. Like I was at Deadpool on Thursday, which is probably why I'm single.
So you're either educating yourself or you're doing mindless television.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine, if you haven't seen it, was phenomenal.
I'm not big into that.
You'd rather watch people like eat each other than watch a funny movie?
What I like about the eating is that he spits out the dress. So why wouldn't he just swallow the dress? Really? Think about that. What is that? Does it taste bad? Would she taste better?
Have you tried to eat a dress before?
I can't talk about that because of court orders and stuff. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Oh, look at this. 1256 is on it, man. He overinflated his actual wealth, financial fraud. So there you go.
Okay,
The
no
owner
big
of the
deal.
case.
No big deal. Just lying about how much you're worth. Like
kind
no
of like
big
Jerry
deal.
Buss, right? I mean, he was basically buying stuff he couldn't afford, so he figured out a way to do it. But thank you. That's right. He overinflated his actual wealth, and he got in a lot of trouble. But you know what? He brought Wayne Gretzky to the Kings, darn it, and they became a way better franchise from that point on.
Do you remember that Wayne Gretzky used to own the Coyotes?
Did he for a period, right? A
Yeah,
small period.
it was-
Wasn't he the coach?
I think he was the coach and the owner. He became minority owner in 2000 and was later named the head coach in 2005. That's just how bad our ownership of Coyotes have been. Is just we've never been able to find like a real Matt Ishbia to come in.
Well, they're the Utah Hockey Club now, so it's all.
Hey, we're not going to talk about that team. I'm a Knights fan for now.
I'm just saying.
Which, have you been to a Knights game in Vegas?
Never.
Oh, I highly recommend it. It's like a show. It is really fun.
I heard that the opening is interesting.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
It's like Showgirls and stuff, isn't it?
I don't think it's Showgirls, but it's just like a full show. Like they put on like an actual show for you for like the first 10 minutes before the game even starts. It's super cool.
Like, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've gone twice.
Like, what kind of oh, you've gone?
Yeah, I've gone twice. My friend works for the Knights, so every time I'm in Vegas, I just send a text and tickets end up in my account, which is great because they're not cheap either. But what's cool too is outside, like there's tons of bars, so because it's right on the strip, so you can just walk right there, and then right when you're done, you can be right back at the casino in 2 seconds or be at a bar. It's really cool. The whole experience is one of my favorite stadiums.
Vegas has really gone downhill.
It has.
Right?
It has gone downhill.
It's not what it was. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Do we want to get into the NFL yet?
I mean, we can. There's a lot of NFL news.
Do you want to start?
Let's
with
just
some
go
NFL
into.
stuff? I'm gonna let you do it.
There's 2 extensions that pretty much were almost like the same amount. Jordan Love and Tua. How do you feel about those? Do you like them both? Do you hate them both?
You want to go right there?
Oh yeah, let's just get right into it because
you want to go there.
There's a lot of stuff. We can get into the rankings of the contract, but Tua, $53 million a year for Tua. You know how I feel about that. You're a bigger Tua guy, so how do you
love Tua?
No, I can't stand Tua.
No, you're a big fan.
No, I think you're paying $53 million for Tua. I know you bash Kyler Murray, but wouldn't you rather have Kyler Murray for 46 a year?
No.
There's no way.
No.
There's no. You are just a Seahawks fan.
No.
No.
So you noticed my shirt?
Your ugly
Do you like
shirt.
my shirt and hat? How they match?
No, I don't.
Well, I saw you walk in that Suns jersey with those
It's
tiny
the best
little,
jersey.
with those little pea shooters.
Oh, here we
and
go.
I was like, man, we did have a flex contest before the show.
You won. That's fine.
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure we put that out there. But okay, so let's talk about Tua. I like Tua. There's a lot of risk with this, right?
100%.
Because Tua has issues with concussions. We all know that, right? Last year was his first real healthy year where he did the work, right? He took up jiu-jitsu. He spent a lot of time on his body and his game. He came out and he had a really good year. Now they faltered at the end of the year, and no one could beat them up about having to play in that cold weather playoff game. That is what it is, right? But he had the best year of his career, no doubt about it, right? He's great until the play breaks down. Once the play breaks down, he goes from the number 3 rated passer in the league to the number 16th rated passer in the league. So that's part of his game that's weak. And he's not going to run because he doesn't want to take the hit. He can't. He just can't.
That's fair.
Right? But he's good. He's a top-tier quarterback, especially with the Dolphins. He fits that really well. Him and the coach are in sync, and they've done a lot better with him. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to break that 23-year streak this year. They're going to get to the playoffs, and they're going to win a game. I believe. I'm not a Dolphin fan. Not at all.
So you said something interesting. You said he's not good when the play breaks down.
Correct.
So you have the best wide receiver in the game for when plays break down, Tyreek Hill.
I know.
They do not complement each other in that way because, like, if you put Kyler Murray on the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill,
right?
They definitely break the 23-year curse and possibly go even farther deep in the playoffs because Kyler Murray, the play breaks down, that guy's crazy. And if you give him Tyreek Hill, who is great when the play breaks down because he's just so fast he runs around, that would be incredible. I don't know. I'm not a Tua guy.
But how could you not be? I mean, just because. Why?
I just don't think he's that good. When I watch him, I don't watch him and be like, oh, I'm impressed that he's going to be incredible. He has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like, those are just 2 guys who elevate his game so much, which is great.
We talked about this in the blender yesterday. So Tyreek Hill, not Tyreek Hill, but Tua or Kyler?
I take Kyler all day.
You take Kyler all
Which-
day.
30 seconds.
I think most people would agree.
So you're the only guy that would have been on that show that would have taken Kyler.
Yeah, I
Because
guess
of
so.
all- I'm not saying Kyler's bad, but there's other things besides just his game on the field that bother me with. We could talk about that.
We'll get into that then.
But it's
15.
it's the things off the field that really bother me with Kyler. So when we come back from the break, we can get into that, and we got a
10.
lot more NFL to talk about and some other things. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. The Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, so I don't know what song that is.
I am so music illiterate. I have no idea what it was.
All right. Surprised God didn't get in my ear right now and tell me what it is.
Yeah, weird. Once again, if you want to be part of the show, text us at 888-368-1580.
Rock and roll train, AC/DC.
That was Rock and Roll
Wow. You didn't know AC/DC?
Train. That's why I'm kind of embarrassed.
Wow. With how old you are, you don't know who AC/DC is? I'm looking for a new
Whatever, dude.
co-host, guys. You can apply at 888-368-1580.
Whatever.
Send your resumes via text.
Yeah.
But let's get back into this. What's your deal with Kyler? Like, why
So,
wouldn't you take Kyler over Tua?
Here's where I struggle. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to make fun of Kyler, but he's small.
Okay.
He's really small. If you
Okay.
go to a game, it looks like there's a kid running on the field to get the tee off. It's Kyler, though, right? So that kind of confuses me. I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying his height is an issue. There's no doubt.
Okay.
Okay. My bigger issue is off the field. He doesn't seem, number one, to be the leader he needs to be as the quarterback of that team. He seems to struggle in a leadership role. And I want a quarterback that's a leader, that's going to get his team motivated. And especially when you want to get to a Super Bowl. So, hey, Seahawk fan, right? I know, sorry, Cardinal fans, I'm a Seahawk fan. It doesn't mean I don't like the Cardinals, but I'm a Seahawk fan. And we had the most horrendous history ever until certain things changed. And then when we got Russell Wilson, the one thing about cringy Wilson is he was a great leader, right? On the field. On the sidelines, he did a great job getting his guys up and ready and to giving them believing that we're not out of this game ever. I think back to the NFC Championship game against the Packers where they were down 19-0, right? Or whatever it was, 16-0. He got that team on his back and they get going and they believed in him and they won. I think that's so important. And I feel Kyler's not that guy.
I feel like I obviously follow the Cardinals a lot more than you.
Well, I'm being respectful.
You are being respectful. I feel like you haven't paid attention since Cliff's been gone. I feel like all those things you said could possibly be true during the Cliff Kingsbury era. Mm-hmm. Once Gannon has came in, Kyler's been complete opposite. The culture around him has been off. He flew out all his guys to L.A. Trey McBride talked about that. He brought the whole team. I believe it was to L.A. or Texas. I believe it was L.A. And they brought them all out to work out with him. When Marvin Harrison got drafted, Kyler was privately working out with Marvin Harrison. He's doing everything off the field to bring all these guys around, be the leader. They were one missed kick away from being 4-4 with him back last year, which I still think Prater missed that kick on purpose because if he makes the kick, they draft 5 and then they'll get Marvin Harrison. So they were. I'm still going to say
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. I'm still going to say they were 4-4 with Kyler last year. I think Kyler Murray is stepping up to be that leader. I think it will show this season. I just think a lot of people have this bias from when Cliff's around, when things were just. It was a zoo when Cliff Kingsbury was our coach.
Well, he was terrible.
He was awful.
You know when he got exposed? Do you remember the mid-season Hard Knocks? Did you watch that?
I don't remember if I did. I think I did.
Mid-season Hard Knocks, Cardinals, right? And you got to see what Cliff Kingsbury was. And he had to me, he didn't have control of anything. He seemed so out of touch with what was going on with his players. He didn't seem to have a plan to make things better. And I think he really exposed himself. And it seemed like from that point on, I was like, this guy's gone.
He got exposed when you look up DeAndre Hopkins' routes, and he ran the same route on the same side of the field every game.
Agreed.
That's where Cliff Kingsbury got exposed.
He didn't make adjustments at halftime.
Nothing.
For as much as you hate the Seahawks, and I know you do, Pete Carroll was a master at making adjustments at halftime.
I am the biggest Pete Carroll support. I can't stand the guy and the way he chews his gum. I just want to
when you're
dude.
older, you got to keep your gums moving.
But that's why I think the Seahawks are going to be terrible because
Well,
I
we'll
think
see.
Pete Carroll was the Bruce Arians of the Seahawks. He was so good of a coach.
I have no clue what the Seahawks will be this year. I just don't. I know that Geno has looked fantastic in camp, but that doesn't mean anything. So, and
would you take Geno over Kyler?
And yeah, I don't know. I think so.
Wow.
I'm not 100% sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure. Could I have neither one of them? I'd like that.
That's fair.
Could I
that's
have
fair.
Caleb Williams? Because that's who I want.
Oh my gosh, Caleb in Chicago. I think the Bears make the playoffs.
Well, we'll get into that. But
We'll get into that.
Are you? Well, we're going to go to Cardinal camp, right?
I'm going.
Yeah, we're both going.
Yeah,
right?
we have tickets.
Yeah, so
for
we're
the
going.
black and red and white practice. Sorry, red and white practice. We're gonna go as a show,
Okay, good.
which is gonna be awesome.
Let's talk. This is if you open the Webster's dictionary and you look for overpaid, you'll see a picture of Jordan Love.
Really?
They just put it in last night.
What did he get?
Too much.
Didn't he
He's
get
the
as much
highest
too?
paid quarterback in the NFL. Are you kidding me?
No, he didn't. He's not the
Yes,
highest.
he is. Overall
Oh, wow.
value. Overall value. He's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Right
Ties the record for highest paid quarterback, highest paid player with massive contract, 4-year, $220 million extension, 155 guaranteed.
now.
What has he done?
Those numbers are a little off of mine, but okay.
What has he done to deserve that?
He's had one good year. One.
That guy's so lucky.
So last year, right? 67.4% completions, 4,600 yards, 102.9 passer rating. His first full season. And he demanded that he needed a contract extension or he was going to sit. Are you kidding me?
but
Who
okay,
are you, Jordan Love? One season? Do it twice. You do it twice, we'll have the conversation. But I guess what they looked at, and this is a point someone made on the blender yesterday. Let's say they don't give him this money, which he does not deserve, in my opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think he deserves it. What else do you got? I mean,
that's-
what else is out there that you can go after? There's nothing.
Packers quarterback,
Michael
quarterback
Pratt
is
and Sean Clifford.
Sean Clifford.
Well, those are their backups. But who else is
Yikes.
out there that they're going to go get?
Nobody.
Right?
You have to pay him.
This is ridiculous.
But that's the problem with the NFL right now. All these guys. So you got Jordan Love, he wouldn't play without a contract. Tua gets a massive contract, but now you got Dak, who wants a new contract. You've seen all these guys who are getting these contracts. He's gonna want a big contract. Then you got Ayuk, he wants a new contract. CeeDee Lamb's threatening not to play. He wants a contract. The Bengals wide receiver star, what's his name? Not Higgins. Jamar Chase wants a new contract.
But he deserves a contract.
But everybody, Trent Williams, Niners O-lineman, he won't report without a contract. The NFL has an issue of these guys are like, 3 years into my contract, I got 2 years left or 1 year left. I want a new contract now because they want their money. And I get it. They want to be paid.
But how come I don't get to do that? I don't get to go to my boss and say, hey, I know I'm only in the second year of my contract and I have a 5-year contract with $2 guaranteed. I want more money or I'm not coming back tomorrow. You know what he would tell me? Have a nice day.
Because we're not as valuable as these guys are on the field. And that's what's crazy is missing Ayuk on the field, they would be a completely different team. It's crazy.
Well, they are a different team without Ayuk.
100%.
Right? You see it instantly.
100%.
When he's not there. I agree with you 100%.
But the Niners physically cannot extend Trent Williams, and then give Brock Purdy like $65 million next season, which is going to be insane.
Agreed. So these quarterbacks, I mean, think about it. So if he's getting $55 million, 167 guaranteed, what's going to happen in 3 to 4 years when Caleb Williams goes for his max contract? If he has the good couple years, $100 million,
Dude.
How can you run an NFL team with that? It's impossible. They're already taking about 25% of the salary.
This has been floated around, and I think I'm all for it. Do you think quarterbacks shouldn't count a cap against the cap? I'm for it.
Wow.
I'm for it because I want to see.
Feels kind of dirty.
It does,
It
but
does
I
feel
want
a little dirty.
I want to see other players be paid fairly, and I think the quarterbacks, like running backs, don't get paid because of quarterbacks.
Why not just raise the cap?
They could.
Because I think I don't know, man. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but my gosh, what's going to happen to quarterback salaries if they do that?
I think you put a limit on it. I think you say it can only be 25% of the cap.
But
That's the max.
They're just about there now.
Well, quarterback max, make it like NBA where you just have a max contract you can get, like LeBron or whatever. You can just get a max contract and.
I mean, does anybody? There's all these guys in Twitterverse right now, and then on the text line. Does anybody think Jordan Love was worth that kind of money? Did the Packers make the right decision because there's nothing else out there? Or did they make this the worst decision for the next 10 years of their franchise?
There's not enough data. 1 year.
But what do you think? I mean, I don't. You're right. There's not enough data. We've only seen this guy play 1 year, right? We don't know. But Oh my gosh, $55 million a year.
I'm
stunned.
I think they had to do it no matter what. They hurt themselves by drafting him and not moving Rodgers earlier. That or Rodgers not retiring or Rodgers going off and doing his own thing in the wilderness that he does. Like,
I mean, Kyler's what, 46.1 million?
Ninth. The ninth highest.
He's down to ninth.
He's down to his
He was first when he signed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, his contract does not look that bad anymore. 46.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. And then next year, when another quarterback gets extended, it's going to be like $60 million.
So let's go to the text line real quick because they're starting to come in. Let's see here. Bat Flipper is on the text line. Said you'd pick Kobe over LeBron. You're a homer. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, he's talking to you.
I'd pick Kobe over LeBron. Of course I would. Kobe's a legend. He's a god in Laker world.
Doesn't matter. Jordan's the GOAT.
Well, Jordan, absolutely. But to me, it's Jordan and then it's Kobe. I'm just sorry. That's what I think.
I agree. I don't disagree
and then
with
it's
you.
LeBron.
I don't disagree with you.
But anyway,
Might be
and people know
Kobe.
how I feel about LeBron. I am not a LeBron fan.
Might be Jordan, Kobe, then Steph Curry, but...
Right. Prison Wallet's also on a text line says, I love your brother, but you're not a big enough deal. Wait, what? Hold on a second here.
Uh-oh.
You're not a big enough deal to not honor your contract. That is so true.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing me down to earth on that.
Thank you for humbling Ralph today.
Yeah,
Glad somebody did.
I appreciate it. So anyway, I mean, I think we got to figure this quarterback thing out. This is gonna have a huge impact going forward.
Yeah, but now at least you're not the Browns with Deshaun Watson, $46 million fully guaranteed, and Joe Flacco had a better year in Cleveland than Deshaun Watson did last season. But also look at this, Kirk Cousins at 45.
Right.
Like
that's to me that's insane too. 45 coming off that injury.
So you have this is what absolutely blows my mind. Josh Allen at 43, Patrick Mahomes at 45. So all these guys, Burrow, Lawrence, Tua, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Watson, Cousins, all are getting paid more than the greatest quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. He's not the greatest, but he's better than almost all those guys.
Top 3, yeah.
Like,
top 5.
It's absolutely crazy. Like, these guys are getting these salaries when Mahomes, like, I'll just take 45.
But you know who's the only team-friendly quarterback in the league that didn't ask for a ton of money and wanted the right contract so they could build around him?
Who?
Geno Smith.
Because he's terrible. He can't get a big contract because it's Geno Smith.
He's not terrible.
I would take...
He's not an upper elite quarterback by any means, but he's probably a tier 3
like
quarterback.
15, 16 in the
he's
league.
Tier 3, middle of the league. But he did not go after money. He went and said, hey, build a team around me. Just be fair to me. I like that. I like
the attitude.
I like the approach.
I like the attitude.
I mean, if I'm a quarterback making all the money and you can't put anything around me, I guess, hey, you're going to make the money, but you're never going to get a ring.
I mean, the Seahawks are never going to get a ring with Geno Smith anyways.
Anyway, so what about Joe Burrow?
Oh, man. Did you see his haircut?
He looks like Eminem, right? He does. He looks like Eminem.
I think he's starting to try to start a boy band.
What is going on with this guy? Did you see that he was in Paris maybe a month back, and he did this fashion show for Vogue, and he had this suit on, like a black suit, but the whole back of it was open. It looked like somebody grabbed him from behind and ripped his shirt, and he was like, I'm like, what are you doing, Joe Burrow? What's going on with you? You do this? You've got this blonde hair. What is going on with Joe Burrow? Who's Joe Burrow?
He's going to join the Backstreet Boys. He's bringing the Backstreet Boys back. I mean, I'm not a fan for it. Wear whatever you want. I usually wear a green shirt everywhere I go, bright green cactus shirt. So like, I'm not the person to ask on fashion. Yes, but
it's true. That's a very good point.
I'm not the person to even judge on fashion. Like you guys, if you don't know, I usually always wear a green shirt. I didn't wear it today just because I wanted to rock my son's gear because I'm trying to bring good vibes because we want Tyus Jones really bad.
I thought you were flexing your pea shooters, but okay.
No, I'm not flexing my arms, man.
I do like your tats, though. I gotta tell you.
See,
I like the commitment to the valley.
We know my dad is listening, so I'm very happy you said that because my dad absolutely hates them.
He does?
He wouldn't talk to me for the first 48 hours after I got my first tattoo.
Oh no, I think they look good.
So I'm glad that someone's acknowledging.
You're an Arizona committed super fan, and that's an awesome thing.
Thank you.
There needs to be more Arizona super fans.
I'm blushing
around.
You guys can't see, but I'm like kind of blushing.
You don't
right
blush.
Now. I don't blush.
You don't
right.
blush. But anyway, I mean, I just Burrow. I saw that with Burrow, and I'm like, what is this guy trying to do? It looks like Backstreet Boy. It looks like he looks just like Eminem, dude.
That's hilarious.
He's Eminem.
I love how much Eminem supports like Detroit. Like we need more stuff like that of like these guys who are just super support their teams like that.
I got one more thing. I know we're gonna go to break here soon, but I got one more thing. I gotta find it here because I'm gonna put it up on the camera. You know the new skull caps, right?
Oh yeah, they're cool.
And they're talking about now you can wear them in the games and stuff, and like during the season.
Yeah,
I think
30 seconds.
Neil's gonna get one. He needs it for the show. They have these skull cap covers.
Yeah,
The Chargers have them.
they make the.
They look just like the helmet.
Yeah, and I think it's good. It keeps them from getting players from getting less
15
concussions.
seconds.
So I think that's really good.
So we'll finish this up on the other side of the break. We're running short. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. The Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic. See, I know that song.
I don't know.
You don't know who that is?
No idea.
Oh my goodness. You are young, aren't you?
Guess so.
All right. So real quick to the text line. Prison Waltz on the text line. Didn't Brady always take less money because he wanted to join? I don't know if that's a rumor or not. Wanted to join what? I mean,
No, Brady took less money a lot of times.
because he wanted the guys around
Because he
him.
wanted guys
Yeah.
around him and to keep the salary cap friendly. But also, I think with his dad being worth $2 billion, it's easier to take less money.
And one more text from the Chosen One. Good morning, gentlemen. Great show. Keep it up. If all things were equal in pay, we'd rather have Geno, Dak, Kyler, or would you rather have Geno, Dak, Kyler, or Tua? If all things were equal in pay. Huh.
I'd take Kyler.
Over Dak?
Easy.
You know, Dak will probably be the next number one paid
Dak,
quarterback.
Dak's going to get like 60.
Gosh, you know what? I don't. That's a great question, Prison Wallet. I don't know. I mean, I'm partial to Geno. I'd probably take Tua.
Yeah, you would.
I probably would take Tua.
You would. We got one chat on Twitter from Falcons and Fantasy. He says the Falcons will get rid of Kirk after 2 years, $100 million total, and what Penix will learn from Cousins, it will be worth it alone. I get that, but also Penix, isn't he like 24 years old? Let's see.
No, that's Bo Nix, isn't it?
No. Michael Penix, he's 24 years
24
old,
too?
so he's not going to start till he's 26. We got another Jordan Love situation here. He's going to play 1 year and get a massive contract.
Well, he might. I mean, so everybody was crazy when they drafted this guy, right? But I think it was, looking back at it now, probably a smart pick because you don't know what you have with Kirk Cousins. That guy you just don't know, right? I mean, he's kind of a paper doll. So
I mean, if I was Cousins, I'd be so mad.
I
though.
liked Penix in college. I think Penix can be a great quarterback. I think he could do really well in that offense in Atlanta because I just like how they've built that offense. I love the run game. I just love what they're doing there. I think in a year or two, Penix could take that job over. Now, if Kirk gets hurt this year, he's going to have to take it over regardless a lot quicker. I mean, so Penix really has, if he doesn't get hurt, has really time to focus on, hey, let me learn this offense. Let me get this NFL thing down. And I think he could be a great pick for you guys. I mean, personally. So,
Man, we really like talking about football on this show.
you know, I'm just going to do it, right? So we love talking about football. And we have a major announcement that's coming out.
Wait, we do?
We do. Yes, we do.
Oh, news to me.
I haven't told you anything.
No.
So we do have a major announcement with this show. So we are going to be changing not only the day and time, but we're going to be changing our format. So we are going to be switching to Sundays.
What?
At 8 a.m. So you
What?
have to get up early. So no more binging on Saturday nights. We are going to be the Weekend Warrior Sunday NFL show. And we are going to do pregame, basically, before the national games take off in the morning. So we have, depending on the Cardinals' schedule, we can have up to game time or a half an hour before game time. And we are going to be all things sports. We have Scott the King Engel, who is a Hall of Fame fantasy guy that's going to come in and do a last-minute fantasy segment for us to help people with their last-minute picks, injury stuff going on last minute. He's just an awesome guy. He'll do his segment. We are going to follow the teams that are playing the Cardinals that week, and we're going to try to follow their fan clubs locally and see where they're hanging out and talk to them about the game and kind of give you insight on the Cardinal opponent. We also are going to talk Cardinals, of course.
A lot of Cardinals.
A lot of Cardinals football. And then we're going to do our top picks every week. You know, obviously, Seahawks fan, Cardinal fan, and our other brother is
We'll be picking
Packer
the
fan.
Cardinals game, the Packers game, and the Seahawks game against the spread, and two other games.
Two other
And
top games for the week.
Sort of like there's you've probably seen it before. We'll have a little league of our picks, and we'll follow, and we'll come up with some creative punishment for whoever finishes last place.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun. We'll be live on Twitter, other platforms.
Live on other platforms. We'll be live on the radio.
Live on the radio, but we'll be an NFL pregame show. So if you want to watch anything before when you wake up at 8 a.m., you're like, I need a cup of coffee, get ready for the game, turn us on. We'll get you ready for the game. Definitely Cardinals fans.
Come to this show. It's going to be the best football experience before the football experience.
Before the football experience
that you've had. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. We're going to have some really good stuff. We also are going to start our fantasy league as well. So we're going to be looking for people that want to join our fantasy league, and we'll have some prizes around that. So there's a lot going on, and this will start September 1st.
September 1st. So
the right before that first Thursday game, we're going to kick off the new show at the new time and day. It's going to be amazing. So we're really excited. We've been working on this for a little bit, and we're absolutely thrilled to be
Basically what happened is Ralph realizes he only can talk football, so we decided to move to a football show.
No, I love football.
I
Obviously.
do too, man.
And when we get the chance, because we know as we get into October and stuff, there'll be a lot of decent baseball stuff going on.
Yeah, like the Diamondbacks making the
We'll
World
hit
Series.
on that. We'll hit on some Sun stuff, too, if there's anything happening real quick. But the majority of the show is going to really be focused on getting ready for that day in football and talking about it and just having fun with it. So really looking forward to that. So also on the text line, we have, who is this now? I have a Dolphin fan on the text line. 1256, a Dolphin fan. It says, as a Dolphin fan, thanks for the Tua support, Ralph. I will listen on Sundays. Oh, this is Rich out in L.A. Hey, Rich, I forgot you were a Dolphin fan. Okay. All right.
He's going to listen because of you, not because of me.
Yeah, we're excited about Sundays, Rich. It's going to be a great experience. So last thing on, when we talked about the skull caps, I just wanted to, I think they're cool. We're getting one for Neil, and we'll see how it goes. Right? I think we're done with the NFL.
We got a little bit of time left. We can talk about baseball.
There's a lot going on in baseball.
There's a lot about going on in baseball. Those D-backs are lighting up, heating up. Make a big trade, too.
So let's talk about their trades. So we'll talk about the trades that have already happened, right? So with the D-backs, they acquired A.J. Puck. Some people are calling him Puke. I don't know why. But it's A.J. Puck from Miami. I like this. I like this deal. What you're going to do with Puck is you're going to plug him alongside the late inning relievers that you have. You have Paul Sewald, who's basically your closer.
For now.
We think.
For now.
For now. But you've got Ryan Thompson, you got Genko, and you got Justin Martinez. So
wow.
you got Puck's going to come in on the left side. Genko will come in on the right side in front of Sewald. That's what I think they'll do. They'll be the setup guys left and right side for Sewald.
And he's under contract for 2.5 years.
And for peanuts, right?
The guy Santos we gave up.
Cashews? Not macadamians.
He depends on who you ask. It's Reno, so you always have to understand that stats are going to be inflated in AAA, but he does lead the league in Reno in home runs, and he does have a lot of power. But here's the thing. We also lost him in Rule 5, so the Diamondbacks already were like, oh, we lost him. Then he came back, and then we traded him now. So obviously the Diamondbacks do not value that guy like probably everybody else does. Everyone else thinks his upside's incredible. So it's like that does hurt a little bit because I was intrigued by this guy, but he doesn't fit the D-backs mold of you need to play great defense. Like D-backs, if you be on the field, you got to be a great defender.
Right.
That's just our mold. Defender and small ball. That's just how the D-backs play.
And what got you to the World Series last year is as you got to the second half of the season, the one thing that D-backs were really good at is they would take that lead, like sixth inning or so, seventh inning, and they would hand it to the bullpen.
Yep.
And the bullpen did a fantastic job of holding that lead and winning games. And that's when you made your run.
Yep.
Right? So you need a guy like this to kind of help you do that. This is probably the best bullpen the D-backs have ever had. If you go back in their history, I'm not saying you've got a bunch of superstars there, but they're a really good mesh of guys, mesh of talent that you need to get the job done. So this is a good move for the D-backs.
And like the only guy who's not under contract next season is Sewald, which I'm okay with if he leaves.
I'd say give him a chance. He's going to be okay.
You want to go over? You want me to pull his stats?
But okay, and I get this. Every closer goes through these things. I'm a Dodger fan. I'm sorry. Please don't leave the chat. I'm a Dodger fan. And so we had Kenley Jansen for years. And Kenley Jansen's a great closer. But he would have his fits where he would just give up home runs and just kill us. But every reliever does that.
Paul Sewald, last 15 games.
All right, so now you're going to go ahead and
5.93 ERA, 14 strikeouts, 9 out of 15 save appearances. He's blown 6 saves, and if you don't count Jake McCarthy's rob of a home run,
right,
they'd be 7. That blowing 2-3 saves, understandable. potentially 7 saves in 15 games, there's a famous word that there should be saying.
What's that
You're
word?
fired. I'm sorry, Seawald. You're one of the nicest guys on Twitter there is, but there's a very concern there. It's a big concern there.
There's a concern, but you got to let it go a little longer.
But also, like, look at the Royals game the other night. He comes in with like a 4 or 5 run lead and gives up 2 runs. So it's like, if that was a 1-run game, that'd be another blown one.
Well, you know what you could do. There's a lot of good relievers in the market.
Go get another one.
How about you go to the Angels and get Carlos Estevez?
How about you call Trevor Bauer and just sign him?
Trevor Bauer's never playing in the MLB again. We all know that. As wrong as that is, he's not a closer, by the way, but he'll never play again.
If Trevor Bauer would come be a reliever, he just wants to get back in the league.
Would he do it? Probably, but that's not what he is.
For sure.
He's a guy that goes 6-7 innings.
I wouldn't trade for anybody else, though. We gave up enough. I think D-backs roster.
That's the key, right? What are you willing to give up more?
No.
Your minor league system's depleted right now. You've got a bunch of young guys on the roster. I mean, what are you going to give up?
I wouldn't give anything else up. I'm at the point where D-backs just kind of got to ride out this roster unless it's somebody who you can literally give up peanuts for.
Look, you're right there in the wild card. You're not catching the Dodgers, right? You and the Padres are not catching the Dodgers. Let's not get crazy. Let's not start taking all these different drugs to make us think it's going to happen.
Yeah, but 17 games, you guys aren't winning by 17 games.
Yes, they're going to win by 17
That's the
games.
bet. If you guys
Absolutely.
don't know, if you haven't followed around, Ralph and I have a very nice steak dinner bet on how many games the Dodgers will win the division by. He
17.
said 17. I took the under. Right now, the Padres are 6.5 backs and D-backs are 7.5 back. There's no way you're winning that by 17.
17.
There's no way that's
You're
happening.
right. It's going to be 18.
It's going to be like 12 at most. The Padres are going to catch you
The
guys.
Dodgers are starting to get their guys back. You got to remember that. Right now, you've got 3 rookies in the starting rotation. 3.
That's fair.
Okay? And they're doing good. But 3 rookies. They're not going to be consistent because they're rookies. So
That's fair.
you'll see.
We'll see. We'll
You're
see.
going to lose that money.
I'm
okay.
gonna-
Let's look at some of the acquisitions outside of the D-back. So did you see the Mariners have been very busy? All-star outfielder Randy Rosarona.
You guys thought you were going to get him.
Rosarena. I thought they might look at him, but they didn't. The Mariners went and grabbed him.
Because you were very confident on Wednesday that you guys were
I
going to get
wasn't
him.
confident.
Oh, man, you were confident.
You were eating and you were very tired because you hadn't slept the night before.
You were
remember?
confident. You were telling Neil,
No,
it's a
absolutely
done
not.
deal.
Absolutely not. You're just lying now. So they needed a bat.
They did.
This is a really good move for the Mariners. And yesterday they went and got Yimi Garcia from the Blue Jays, a right-handed reliever. Yimi used to be a Dodger. He's okay, but it gives him a little bit something in the bullpen as well. So
I mean,
not
they're
bad.
2-8 in their last 10. They need help.
Yeah, they need to get their stuff together. I almost said the wrong word. FCC violation. I
Oh,
did that.
wow. That would have been the first one.
Sorry, FCC. I didn't say it.
You didn't
No
say
fine.
anything.
No fine. But they need to get it together, and I think these are 2 really good moves for them to get it going.
I think they'll too.
Phillies acquired outfielder Austin Hayes. They've been looking for an outfielder to kind of shore up that outfield. They needed a veteran. They went after Austin Hayes, who was from the Orioles. This is a good move for them. He wasn't getting the at bats in Philly. I mean in Boston and Baltimore. They're loaded out there. So you bring this veteran over. It solidifies your outfield a little bit. You don't like this move?
No, I just think
looks.
the Phillies is just the most terrifying team in the NL right now to me.
They're the only team I'm worried about.
I am too. Like, no offense to you Dodgers, I'm not worried about Dodgers that much because you guys just don't know how to hit in the playoffs. But the Phillies,
Wow.
like, we beat them last year and it was tough, but they got rid of Craig Kimbrell, Craig Crumble. He just crumbles.
He does. He crumbles.
He just crumbles. He's terrible.
I hate that.
When he was on the Cubs, he wasn't good either. But I just think the Phillies, please don't keep getting better. Like,
Well, Hayes he's in need.
he is. It was
He's-
a great
he's-
move.
Right? I mean, he's not having a great year. He hasn't had a lot of at-bats, but, I mean, who's he batting? He's batting .255. He's got 3 home runs and 14 RBIs. He's just not getting the at-bats. If he gets the at-bats in Philly, definite good move for them,
The great move.
right? All right, well, this was yesterday. The Orioles, go figure, right? They acquired Zach Eflin from the Rays for 3 minor leaguers. This is not a bad deal. He's 5-7 with a 4 ERA and 19 starts. And he's owed $18 million in 25. So he was the most expensive player on the Rays books. And the Rays are selling. I mean, they're getting rid of people. They got a bunch of people.
Their motto is kind of caught up to them finally.
So I mean, this is a decent move for the Orioles. It gives them another arm. It's something they were looking for. So not a bad move by the Orioles.
Yeah. Do you think the Dodgers make any moves?
Absolutely. I think they're trying to make a big move.
Okay.
They're trying to make So they got rid of James Paxton, who went to the Red Sox.
Saw that.
I told you last week the Diamondbacks should have went after Paxton.
No.
Yes, they should have. You get him for nothing. The Dodgers are 14-5 with him. You get him for
Why'd
nothing.
you guys get rid of him?
Because they're about to make a bigger move.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks have young guys that you can put into the starting pitching. You only need, 4 pitchers for playoffs? 4 starters? So we got...
I mean, you need 3 solid starters. A 4th is nice if you have them.
Okay, so we have Kelly coming back. We got Gowan, which that's a concern right now. Gowan does not look fantastic. You got Brandon Pfaadt, like the best pitcher probably on the rotation.
He'll always be fat to me.
Always. I didn't know where you were going with that. And then if Jordan Montgomery can figure it out, which he looked better,
right,
and just start back, there's your 4. You don't need another. Sure, you need guys right now, but like we have some guys you can put here and there, like, and then Eduardo Rodriguez. You need 4. You got 5 guys. I think the D-backs need to keep their farm system a little bit protected because we just don't have.
At this point, they do.
They don't have.
Yeah.
We're not the top 10 system like we used to be because everybody came up.
So, I agree with you. I agree with you. The Diamondbacks are in an interesting position. I mean, we'll see how far those pitchers can take them. I think their bullpen's good, like we said before, but we'll see. The Dodgers, I think, they were going to go after the White Sox guy, what's his name, Crochet. But this is so Garrett Crochet was pretty hot in the market.
Oh yeah, very hot.
People were looking at him. The Dodgers were looking really hard at him. A couple other teams too. And he came out, and what he did is he said he wants a long-term contract extension before agreeing to pitch in the offseason. So if you're a playoff team and you want me, I need a long-term extension or I'm not doing it.
That sounds like the perfect Dodger guy. Dodgers love to throw money at everybody.
But what happened when he did that? Everybody walked away from him.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he's going to get signed with anybody unless he changes that stance. The Dodgers backed off him instantly. Is
crazy.
They're like, dude, that's a pretty crazy request.
That's crazy. Is it crazy though? One Tommy John.
It's Jordan Lovish. It's Jordan Lovish.
Neil, if you're listening,
Neil is because he just texted in and said, "Great show today." Nathan sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Wow, I took a shot at you, dude.
No, that was a compliment.
That was a compliment?
Yeah.
And McMama's on the text line said, "Congrats on the new show, guys. I appreciate that."
Hey, I appreciate it. We appreciate any support. Anyone's watching, listening. We've got 92 viewers our first time streaming on Twitter. That's awesome.
Good. Yeah. So let me go back to the Dodgers.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm going back to the Dodgers.
All right, one last time.
Well, and I got something to say about the Giants in a second too. And I'm gonna get this guy's name wrong because I get it wrong all the time. But this guy is probably the AL Cy Young Award winner right now. Tariq Skubal from the Tigers. He's 11-3 on a really bad Tigers team, 2.34 ERA. This guy's phenomenal. The Dodgers and Orioles want this guy bad, real bad.
You're gonna give up your farm for him?
You have to give up something major for him. Now the Dodgers farm is packed with arms. 3 years ago, they drafted 14 pitchers in the draft. Almost every one of those guys is panning out.
That's insane.
They're solid. So I happen to know a couple people in the organization and been talking about a couple things, and they're about to make a big move, and this is the move they want to make. Now, I don't know if they're going to get him or not, but this is the move they want to make.
Why do the Tigers get all these great pitchers and then just trade them away for nothing? But then when they sign these batters, they are terrible contracts. Javier Baez, there was another one, I forget his name. But they have all these great pitchers. If you've gone back and looked through, they like Justin Verlander, Max. It's insane.
Yep. I don't know. And they're also, what's his name? Flaherty, the other pitcher, is on the trading block as well. He's going to get traded.
Insane.
They've already made it out there that he's gone.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's a decent arm too. I mean, he's a little older, but he's a decent arm. So they're going to get rid of their two arms.
That's crazy.
But this is what they do. I'd hate to be a Tiger fan.
I would just hate to live in Detroit to begin with.
It would like be because of the city or because of the sports?
Everything.
I mean, being a Lion fan would have been painful.
The weather?
But they're good now, but
you want to live with that weather?
No.
I'd rather take 110 degrees over snow all day.
It's 115 outside. I mean, this sucks.
This is awesome. I'd
no,
rather
it's
have
not
that.
Awesome. It sucks.
This is way better than going outside and shoveling snow.
I mean, I can't. The winters are great here. The summers suck.
Sure, but it's better than snow.
All right, well.
Just don't go outside.
I'm sure the Tiger organization appreciates you bashing their
I
city.
appreciate them too.
But anyway, so those are what I think the Dodgers are going after. But I heard this. This is funny. I love this.
Let's hear it.
The Giants.
What are they doing?
They're sellers.
Why?
Because they're done.
Yeah,
I mean,
50 and 55.
They have an 11.3% chance of making the postseason.
Everybody was so high. The Giants would be so good. They got all these.
But oh man, we're already at the last minute. But Blake Snell is now being asked. They're asking about Blake Snell. Teams are calling. They want this guy because the last 3 games he's looked really, really good.
Well, guys, we're still going to be live on Twitter for a post-game show, so check us out. If you want to hear more, come on Twitter, X, whatever it's called these days.
It's called X.
Twitter.
Why are you cutting me on Blake Snell? You don't want to talk about Blake Snell?
We got stuff to talk about in post-game show. We can continue about Blake Snell.
I know. So, hey, we're really excited about the new show. September 1st is going to be our preview, not our preview, but our launch. And so you'll see a bunch of stuff on social media about that. We got a lot of exciting things attached to it. So appreciate all the support and all the growth that we've had. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening today. And we'll be back next week, same time, same channel. It's the Weekend Warriors on 1580, The Fanatic.
We're still here. We're still live on Twitter. How's everyone doing? If you're here on Twitter right now, say something in the chat. Say hi. Check in. What's up? We are going live on YouTube, post-game show as well. We're just going to continue going forward. Probably talk baseball, talk Diamondbacks, we could still talk more Kyler Murray. I could talk Kyler Murray all day. What's up, Anthony? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well out there. Thanks for the support. If you guys, like I said, if you didn't hear the news, we are going to be moving to Sundays and doing an NFL show, NFL pregame show. It's kind of why they brought me on, because I'm the Arizona expert, and they don't.
That's
know
why
they don't know how to talk.
This show is actually the link. It's gonna cut at 11 o'clock, so we're gonna have to put a new link up.
Oh well, you got to fix that for the future.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, come on, man.
Thanks,
this is
man.
These technical issues. What's up, Sal? These technical issues, man, it's gonna get you fired. That's why Neil's going to come back. He can do technical
Neil's not
stuff.
ever coming back. We're done with him.
Wow.
We're
Ralph
done
is
with him.
breaking up with his best friend of 25 years. Actually, he's like 65 because you're 73.
Wow. Look, young buck.
Buck.
It's okay, young buck.
Hey, I got to enjoy it while I can. I don't got much left. I turn 35 next year.
Let's see if I can push this to 12 o'clock.
Should be able to, hopefully.
I'm going to push it to 11:30.
That's perfect. 11:30, push it to 11:30. Then I can go get some food for the game tonight. What should I bring tonight, guys? I have no idea yet. I was thinking. Here's my 2 ideas. You guys can sound off in the chat what your thoughts on this for food tonight. I was thinking the 16-inch sub from Jimmy John's introduced, or I was thinking of a full Sam's Club pizza. Sushi. I did sushi.
You've done the pizza though, haven't you?
I've done pizza, but still, when you bring a full Sam's Club pizza to a game, that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, you need another tomahawk.
Oh, no. Okay. You guys are going to hear first what I'm doing Tuesday or Monday. I'm going to do a 4 or 5 course meal.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're going to bring a whole 4 or 5 course meal.
I am. I'm going to do a filet.
Dude, they're going to stop you at the gate.
I'm going to do a filet. I haven't decided what else, though. Of dessert, I'm going to bring a crumble, the Costco cookie. What other 3 courses should I bring? I was thinking maybe
mac and cheese.
I
like mac and cheese.
And then I was thinking of doing getting lamb chops and bringing lamb chops as well.
Oh no, that's too much. And you do eat a lot.
You guys, I felt bad when your wife made that amazing carne asada because I ate so much of it. I was like, when so Ralph had us over for dinner. Shocking, I know. He is a nice guy, even though he has terrible taste in sporting teams. But he brought us over, and his wife makes amazing food, amazing. But she brings in this little container of carne asada. It's yay big, guys. And I was like, that's enough just for me. So the first burrito, I only put 3 scoops of carne asada on it. And then his wife brings in a full another one. I'm like, okay, great. I can actually eat now. I felt so bad. So, yeah, I do like Sam's Club. I think hot take, Sam's Club pizza is better than Costco.
It is?
100%. I think so. They got this 3-piece meat. It's got bacon, it's got pepperoni, and sausage on it.
You've already done the rotisserie chicken. So
I've done rotisserie.
I don't know, man. You're Mr. AZ Sports, dude. Figure it out.
But yeah, Tuesday I'll do a 4 or 5 course meal. It's gonna be great.
They're gonna kick you out.
That's not gonna happen. D-backs have already said they like me, and
Sal's telling you no way. I think Sal is he likes Costco.
I'm sorry.
I'm with Sal.
You like Costco?
I think it's better.
Have you had Sam's Club though?
I think it's better. Yeah, I think it's better. I think Sal's right, and I think you're wrong.
Oh.
You're in Mr. AZ.
You think
wrong
I'm
sports.
wrong about everything, though?
No, just your sports.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's
no,
fair.
you're not. Not
But-
totally.
From this point forward, I question everything you post. Wow. Wow. Thanks for the love, Sal. I appreciate that.
I like it. I like it, Sal.
Well, at least it's engagement, I guess. At least I got someone engaging me now, questioning everything. Once again, if you guys didn't hear the news, Gamble is saying the Suns are really interested in Tyus Jones. He might come here on a veteran minimum. Let me tell you, if that happens, there's actually a really bad tweet out there for me that I said I would do something crazy if the Suns get Tyus Jones on a veteran minimum.
What are you going to do?
I don't know yet. I guess we're going to have to leave it up to the listeners. Of if that happens, how about this? If that happens, I will walk a half marathon on Diamondbacks game Wednesday.
No, that's not enough.
Half?
That's not crazy.
Can you walk a half marathon in 4 hours right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. That is crazy. That is.
It'd be crazy for me, not for you.
But also trying to do that with all the fans there, that's a challenge because you got to weave around the fans. It's not like I'm going to just go to the stairwell and walk up and down the stairwell. Do it lower concourse. It's 0.25 miles around. So
is
you
it
have
2.5?
It is 0.25.
So half marathon's what? 13 miles?
13.3. But you also got to take in consideration you have 20,000 fans at a game. You have to walk around the whole time. So like, I think that's pretty crazy. You don't think that's crazy?
I mean, it's exhausting.
Sure.
It's going to be annoying.
I think it'd be hilarious.
You're going to keep walking by people and be like, "What's this nut doing?"
First ever half marathon in Diamondback Stadium. It'd be the first one ever done.
Well, you're all about first, man.
Great show. Congratulations on the news. So thank you so much, Satellite Phones and Gilbert. That's
Blissful Hayes. He's actually a texter on our other.
Oh,
show.
is he?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hayes. We appreciate that.
I think now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think you could do the half marathon, but I think, what are you going to wear?
I'm not gonna wear something weird.
Oh, I think you should.
Oh no.
Do you have a cactus hat?
Not yet.
You need a cactus hat.
Have you seen those big hats? I forget what they're called, but like they're like giant hats.
Yeah.
I want to get one like that custom made
Diamondback
eventually.
one, or yeah, okay.
Just like a Mr. AZ Sports type one, but also like, you know me, I always wear my hat backwards. It's not kind of like that's just not my vibe. Like my vibe is just backwards hats.
See,
so.
Sal's got an idea, dude.
Get it? I'm okay.
I'm liking Sal.
Listen, Sal. We need to talk about something real quick. I don't even really like wearing jerseys for this reason, but I cannot get another man tattooed on me. I just can't.
You don't have a girlfriend.
I can't get anybody else tattooed on me. It's my body. I can't put somebody
What are you,
else.
my body, my Wow.
I can't put something else on my body. That's just like giving that person too much power in my life.
I mean, okay.
If we win a championship, I will consider it then. But it's not
Really?
going to happen. No, it's not going to happen.
So does this move, if this happens, you guys get a ring?
I think you have to put them in the contender situation.
Are they not a contender now?
There's questions.
So you're not a contender now.
I think you're not getting. I think I got to see how the coach does. That's what's.
So
Vegas
you're
doesn't
still
think
up in
it-
the air with the coach.
I think it's a great move.
Okay.
If people can buy in, we could be good. Tyus Jones could put us over the edge though, because you put another guy who's an NBA caliber player and a real point guard. You get that guy, I just feel like another domino might fall. Someone might be like, ooh, another guy who's not going to get money might be like, I'll take a vet minimum, couple Suns.
I think that is, and I hate to admit this, that's a fantastic point. Because if one guy does it, you'll find a second guy.
Exactly. And that's what I think is
And
like,
that's what you've seen teams in the past do.
if you that means we have 2 point guards now. You have one guy who shouldn't be on a veteran minimum,
Say that twice real fast.
I can't.
Blah,
And then I just think someone else might do it. What's interesting to me, though, if we don't get Tyus Jones, I think Chris Paul gets bought out by the Spurs midseason and goes
Are you
to
saying
somebody.
you want Chris Paul back?
No, but if he does get, because his
He
contract,
did do a lot for you guys.
he did, and his contract is just enough where if he gets bought out, he can sign with any team, no matter if they're
Right.
over it. If we don't get Tyus Jones, I think that's something to watch midseason. If the Spurs are terrible, if they buy him out.
I think what you guys are going to do is trade for Bronny James, but that's just me.
I'm
You don't know what to say?
I don't know what to say. Bronny James. Man, it'd be really cool if 3 more people would watch us right now. It'd be 100 on our first show
See, Sal,
on
that
Twitter.
Sal says you're not getting his portrait, just his signature, man.
Yeah,
It's not like you're putting his face on your body.
I'm also not a big autograph guy.
All right, well,
I do want to get a Kyler jersey signed, but that's just.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right. So it'll interesting to see what happens with the Suns. If that actually does happen, that's a great move.
Great move.
If it doesn't happen,
Markelle Fultz.
questionable.
You can move on to Fultz, which isn't as big as Tyus Jones, but that's still another
All right.
another name to watch.
Okay. All right.
Getting a lot of notifications on Twitter. Did something happen?
So,
I don't know. Go ahead.
So I was going to ask. So, now you're questioning everything I say because of that Bronny comment. I would too.
Welcome,
honestly,
Ralph, to our
Sal. I
Sal.
absolutely would too, and I don't blame you for saying that.
Welcome to our show.
I got a
Sal.
lot more to say that you're going to question. I'm looking so forward to this NFL show, this Sunday show. This is
I'm
this
pumped.
is going to be so good. So we got so lucky. If you guys look at on Twitter, his name is Scott the King. It's at Scott the King. His name's Scott Engel. If you're into fantasy football, this is the guy. This guy he writes for Rotoballer. He writes for Seahawks.com. He writes for Sportsline.com. His fantasy is this guy's life, and he's been doing it forever. And you can't text I question everything Ralph says.
Mr. AZ says I question everything.
you
Ralph.
can't do
Wow,
that.
that's a great point, Mr. AZ.
So
I like
we've got this great fantasy guy. If you play fantasy football and you want last minute advice on Sunday morning, tune in because this guy will give it to you. You guys can chat in questions or text in questions, and he'll take them. Love the guy. Worked with him last year on our other show that we do, and he was just really, really good.
I'm pumped for really the pick segment.
You're pumped for the pick segment?
I am. Also, I'm pumped to talk Cardinals.
So you can give a bad pick every week? You're pumped for that?
Oh, my.
We're going to keep track of this, and at the end of the
know.
season, there's going to be an award or a winner or something.
I know. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to talk picks each week. And really, we did 3 teams. We're doing the Packers pick each week because Neil, our host who decided to take PTO today, is not here. But he's a big Packers fan. We're going to do Ralph Seahawks, Cardinals, and then each of us will pick 2. Are we going to do the same 2 games or other 2 random games?
Random games.
Okay, so we'll pick whatever 2 games we want.
I mean, good games for the week. We know that's a good matchup. We're going to talk about that.
So I'm excited for the picks. I think
the picks will be cool.
Picks will be a lot of fun. Talking just Cardinals, I think
Talking Cardinals will be fun. Talking their opponent. I don't think there's anybody in the Phoenix area that's sitting there talking about the opponent as much as we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And also what we're going to do. So we started this last year when the show was really just getting going. We're going to hook up with some of the local because there's so many fan clubs here of other teams in the Phoenix area. So we're going to hook up with them. We might even do a remote at one of their places, a remote or 2 that we're going to go and do a remote, and we're going to just kind of get to know the other fans, the other fan base and what they do in the community and stuff, and just, kind of see what they're all about, and then talk them and talk Cardinals and just have fun with it. So we're going to do that kind of stuff too. It'll be fun.
It will be. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely watching you guys just go crazy watching the Cardinals make the playoffs this year. It's going to be great.
You think they're going to make the playoffs?
I think that's what we do week 1 is have our Cardinals prediction show. That should be the week 1 as we go over the Cardinals schedule.
Yeah, we will.
We predict the win losses. I think the Cardinals win in Buffalo week 1. When has Buffalo ever been good to start the season? They're like a midseason team.
Week 1 they're going to win the Buffalo.
In Buffalo.
Okay.
Ralph's like, you are crazy.
I'm trying to see if I can chat something in to say you're nuts, but
you don't know how to use technology. Wow, showing his age. One more viewer, we'd hit 100 viewers on our first show.
Phenomenal.
That'd be
first
phenomenal.
Show on Twitter.
Watch us be like 20 next week when Neil's back. Like, Neil, you're gonna.
Yeah, he will definitely help deflate the numbers.
Deflate. Easy Tom Brady over here deflating footballs over here.
Yeah, I don't know about week 1 against the Buffalo. We'll talk about it on the show, but that's an interesting conversation, I think.
I think so too.
I'm really excited about the NFL this year. I'm
so
excited about it every year, but I just think this year, there's so many different teams that could make it.
100%.
I know the Chiefs have won it the last few years in a row, and congratulations to the Chiefs. But I just think there's so many other teams that you look at the Texans, and kind of what they did last year. Now, I think this year the Texans are going to struggle because they're now getting that first place schedule. Their schedule is going to be tough.
I didn't even think about that.
So you got to think about those things. They're going to have a totally tough schedule this year.
I didn't think about that.
So we'll see where they're at as a group, but I think that's going to impact how they finish. I think the NFC West is wide open. I know everybody's going to say the Niners, and of course, they're the most talented team in the division, but there's some teams in that division as well that could give them some problems, and we'll see. Including the Cardinals. The way they finished last year, they were playing great ball. So I just don't think the Cardinals have a defense yet. That's going to be their Achilles heel.
I agree with you. That's my biggest concern is what is the defense going to do? They drafted some guys, they signed some guys, but still they don't have. It's not like we added a Marvin Harrison Jr. to the defense. We had a Marvin Harrison Jr. to our offense, which was already somewhat okay. So, like, I'm there with you. Like, I was watching some videos. There's some good Cardinals YouTubers out there. Mythic, I was watching his video the other day, and he was talking about the defense, and I was like, man, he just humbled me. I got humbled a little bit on forgetting how bad our defense was. But give credit where it's due. Jonathan Gannon did have him playing hard.
He
did have him close in games. He was coaching them well. So sometimes you can have a bad defense, but they overperform because of the coach. Don't get me wrong, Jonathan Gannon probably might struggle in the Super Bowl when we make it because that's where he struggled in the Philly. But at the same time, I think he can plug some holes.
What year is that going to be?
This season, hopefully.
This season, Super Bowl? Are you willing to make a bet on that?
No.
Okay.
I did do a fun bet. I did do a fun one just because I was bored. I put $5 on the Diamondbacks to win it all and the Cardinals on a parlay just because I was bored.
What's that pay? Like $5,000?
$29,000. If the D-backs win the World Series somehow, that post is going to go crazy on that me just posting that ticket. And then if the Cardinals somehow make the playoffs, I'll probably have to hedge because it's not going to happen, but it would be crazy. It's like when the Cardinals
if the Cardinals make it to the Super Bowl, we will do a remote on Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
If I have that bet, that'd be crazy.
Because we can do that, and we will do a remote at Radio Row. Where are they playing? Is it New Orleans this year?
New Orleans.
We will go to New Orleans and be on Radio Row.
But that's during the Open, though.
Well, I know they want us to be at the Open too.
I think we get to.
We'll have to choose. Do we choose the Open or do we choose the Super Bowl?
The Open.
So I'm starting to feel you're not as confident as you're saying you are.
If we make the Super Bowl, let's go. But I think
if the Seahawks, the Packers, or the Cardinals make the Super Bowl, we have to be there.
Caleb Williams will not let the Packers make the Super Bowl.
Look, I love Caleb Williams. I'm an SC guy. I absolutely love the guy, and he's going to have a great year. But people are putting way too much pressure on this kid and on that team. They're not ready yet. They've done a lot of good things, and I'm really looking forward to watching them Thursday. Just to kind of probably play a series, maybe
Hall of Fame game.
So, but that's a lot to ask. I know he's looked great because he's a great quarterback, but there's not enough there yet as far as the team. They're not ready. That line needs to get better. That offensive line is not there yet. They've made some changes, but it needs to get better. Caleb can run and make things happen outside of the pocket. He's a lot better in the pocket. Guy's such a great arm he has, but his arm's ridiculous. I'll never forget the ASU game last year. I was sitting on the 30-yard line, and Trojans were going down my way, and he just flicked the ball 65 yards. I mean, he just flicked it, and it was on the court. It was on Brendan Rice so fast. It's like boom, right in his chest. I'm like, wow, that kid's got he's got an arm. So I'm excited to see what Caleb Williams does this year. I'm going to be pulling for him. I'm not a Bear fan, but I love Caleb Williams. But do I think they're going to go to the playoffs? Absolutely not.
What?
They're not going to be in the playoffs.
What?
No, I don't see it.
I can see it. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Caleb Williams, Rome.
I love it. I think it's great. You got to have a line, and they don't.
The defense was good after they made that trade.
The defense is okay. They're good. They're not great. They're good.
I think they're going to be one of the
That's a tough division.
It is a tough.
The Lions, dude. The Lions own that division.
That's fair.
You got to love what the Lions have done.
About the Lions.
I mean, the Packers for me, Jordan Love. I'm so upset about this Jordan. It pissed me off.
I don't get it, man.
I mean, I got pissed. I just don't like what they're doing to the game and how these quarterbacks, the money that they're making, it's ridiculous.
I was more mad about the Tua contract than the Love contract.
I don't see, but Tua's been around. He's proven what he is. When he's healthy, he's a hell of a quarterback. So I get why
he's a quarterback when he's healthy.
I get why you give Tua that extension. That makes sense to me, right? That's your guy. That is your guy. Jordan Love, he might be your guy. You're not sure yet. He's got 1 year under his belt.
Got him to the playoffs, though.
1 year. He's not your guy yet. What if he comes out this year and just flops? Then what do? Then you look stupid, right?
It would be the Kyler Murray situation all over again. You extend him, comes out, doesn't do well, and then what do you do?
Right. $55 million, 167 guaranteed.
It's crazy. Oops. Quarterbacks, man, they're getting over that. I'll take $1 million a year for my job.
I'd take $1 million in 2 years. I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Wow, you're
give me $500,000 a year, dude. I'm good.
There we go.
Yeah, I saw that come over last night. It just really upset me, and I haven't been able to get over it. I don't like what's happening in the NFL with this stuff. And I think I like your idea. The more I've thought about it, is don't allow the quarterback's salary to count against the cap. But I just think then you have to cap what they can get.
Yeah, I just think
it's got to be a different cap almost.
Yeah, I just think that you got to do what the NBA does. You have max contracts, which can go up to X amount of the cap.
Right.
And just quarterbacks can make X amount up to the cap, and it would guys like Patrick Mahomes are gonna be a little bit upset because they're not gonna get as much. But there's like one or two people.
Right.
Like, okay, one or two great quarterbacks. Then you got a situation of like every quarterback's just gonna want the max, which whatever, don't care. That doesn't count against cap. It's up to the owner if he wants to pay him or not.
But see, man, I know you hate Geno, but that's why Geno is just. He's thinking about. He wants to win. You know what? Think about it. You know what it is too. He's older, right? He's been around. He's finally got his chance, right? He's pretty good. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but he's pretty good. But he recognizes that I've got a window of probably about 3 years, maybe 4 if I'm lucky. I've got to get the right team around me quickly to have a shot. So, I mean, that's very unselfish. He's made some money. He hasn't made great money as a backup his whole career, but he's made some money. But, you know, he's like, I'd rather win a ring than go after a huge contract.
You're not going to win a ring with Geno, so it doesn't matter. You should just take them.
Why? Trent Dilfer won a ring.
That's fair.
All right. If a quarterback is in the right situation and he can make that offense click, now look at his weapons. Geno's got weapons.
He does.
He's got DK. He's got Lockett. He's got Njigma Smith. I mean, he's got weapons. He's got K9 behind him. They got a decent offensive line they're putting together. That defense is pretty strong. The linebackers, I think, are questionable. We'll see. But they just re-signed Julian Love to give him a 3-year contract extension. That's a pretty complete team. I mean, I get it. Carroll's not there anymore.
That's what
I get it. I love Pete Carroll. I mean, you got to move on. I guess I give him credit for actually, thinking future. That staff is really young. I think it's the youngest in the NFL. But they're changed all their philosophies. They brought in that offensive coordinator from Washington, and he's changed everything. I think Seattle's going to be a very interesting offense because Pete Carroll liked to run. That was his thing. I think you're going to see that change this year where they're going to be a lot more in the air. We'll see.
I got to wait to see without Carroll. I just think
Look how good Penix looked in that offense last year.
Still, it reminds me of when Bruce Arians left. I was like, okay, we'll be fine. Bruce leaving, we'll be fine. Things fell apart. I feel like Pete Carroll leaving is going to have the exact same impact on the Seahawks, that the Seahawks fall apart and they're like, oh, wow, Pete Carroll was the glue and he kept it all together and always competitive. I just feel like you can't replace Pete Carroll.
It's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be, it's going to be hard. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, that's a tough guy but I think the game it was starting to pass him a little bit.
It was
starting to pass. As much as I hate to say that, that's just reality.
I will say your guys' coaching staff seems better than Steve Wilkes, who the Cardinals hired.
Well, I mean, that was probably one of the worst all-time hires ever. That was just a nightmare.
So my close friend works in the church industry. He's a pastor, and there's a church down in Chandler that one of our friends was teaching at, and he's like, goes up and he's like, guys, my sermon's going to be better than the Cardinals' performance on Thursday night. And Steve Wilkes was in the crowd, and he just gets up and walks out. Oh, I will never forget that because my buddy was telling me the story. He's like, yeah, I just see this guy stand up. I'm like, oh, I wonder why. Oh, that's Steve Wilkes. I understand why he's upset that I just roasted them Thursday night's performance against the Broncos.
He kind of got a raw deal too, though. Was it him that drafted Josh Rosen?
Yeah, he had Rosen.
All right, then.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Rosen.
Sal's on this, man. Sal's like, that's a dub for sure against Buffalo. You think so, dude? Really?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Sal, you can look it up. Someone can look it up. When's the last time Buffalo's been good, like, in the first few games? They're always, Buffalo's done, and then week 7 or 8, all of a sudden they get super hot and make the playoffs. Like, they're just not a good starting team.
See, and this is where I agree with Sal. He says if you don't have a line, you want to have time to throw the ball to any of those receivers, and that's the fact.
That's why I love that the Cardinals drafted Paris Johnson.
Yeah, gotta have a line.
Stud.
I don't care who you are. If you're Caleb Williams in that Chicago team and you don't have a line protecting you, look at Caleb Williams last year when he was with SC. SC did not have a line. He had to run for his life the minute he got the ball.
So back to Caleb. Do you have any problems with him like crying on the sideline with his mom?
No.
I just think.
You know why I don't? I'm an older guy, so I'm in my I'm in my mid to later
70s.
50s. No, just calm down. And I think as you get
100 viewers, let's go. That is awesome.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. As you get older, you look at things differently and you get more sensitive. So at your age, you're in your 30s. You're still in that age of you think you're indestructible and you think you just don't think correctly. So a kid that's crying with his mom I don't know why that's a bad thing.
That's fair.
Is it a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing, but we talk about all this leadership. Dude, I'm sorry.
Caleb's a leader, dude.
Do you think that?
That guy is he's a leader, man. Even when SC was struggling and he wasn't getting any protection, I mean, that dude tried. He tried. I'm telling you, I said this before he was drafted. I'll say it again until he proves me wrong. He's a generational talent that you see once every 10 to 15 years, and he will be the number one quarterback in the league in the next 5 years. I really believe that. I think he's that good. The talent is ridiculous. It's off the charts.
How did the Bears get the number one pick? Was that a trade with the Panthers?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they had the number one pick.
This is why I wanted the Cardinals to lose last year, because I felt if the Cardinals could grab this guy, game changer.
Yeah, but then you couldn't. I mean, we would have been the worst team in the NFL if they just sat Kyler.
Yeah, and who cares? Do you remember last season? Who cares? What did last season do for you?
4-4.
But who cares? I'd rather have been 0-8.
Clarification, everyone. We were 3-5, but I'm on a conspiracy kick that Matt Prater missed that last kick on purpose to get us Marvin Harrison. So I am declaring that the Cardinals were 4-4 last season with Kyler Murray. Brings us hope, brings us opportunity. Cardinals make the playoffs this year. 9-8.
Brings you not the number one pick.
9-8.
Could have had a future with this guy at number one pick for a lot less money than Kyler.
That's fair. That's fair.
Until he goes to his point where you got to give him more money.
That's fair.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know.
Questionable take because Mahomes will still be in the league in 5 years.
No, and he will, but he'll be 5 years older, and he'll be a little slower and a little less agile. He'll be more prone to injury, and you'll have this young buck that I think is got every bit of talent Mahomes has. And, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but I don't do that. But I think he can be like a Patrick Mahomes, but he'll be Caleb Williams, not Patrick Mahomes. And I think in 5 years, that kid's going to be amazing. I've been watching this kid for 4 years. He's unbelievable.
I wonder if Mahomes will age like Brady did. Brady aged like a bottle of wine, beautiful body.
I don't know.
And
Different
everything.
game, though.
It is, but I just wonder if Mahomes can do it. He's elite right now, one of the best. He'll be one of the best ever, but can he age like Brady did and go into his late 30s and try to win multiple Super Bowls in his late 30s? I don't think he can.
Just based on who he's married to, I'd say no.
We're not going to get into people's relationships on this show.
Oh, we can't do that?
That's a fine line.
We can't do that? Okay.
We're not going to get into people's families because you could get into his brother, too.
I don't want to talk about his brother.
We're not going to get... See, this is why we are going to an NFL show, because we can just... We can
talk NFL forever,
like,
but we can get more detailed stuff.
We just love the NFL. I just think that's our...
Who doesn't love the NFL?
The Swifties before the season. They didn't. Are
they going to be back this year?
They 100% will.
They better not.
They
better
100%.
not. They better not sit there and focus on Taylor Swift during games anymore. I can't take that.
It's the best thing that happened to the NFL.
It gave you a different audience. I understand that, but I don't need to know that she's taking a sip of her drink or that she had to go to the bathroom or that she's hugging Kelsey's mom. I don't care. I want to watch the game.
I think Taylor Swift, the NFL, is the best thing to happen. Like the controversy videos that I see that come up about Taylor Swift sometimes now, because they're like, how does she exit her suite? Does she exit through the popcorn thing? It's incredible.
It's dumb.
It is great. It is entertaining. I am happy.
I'm going to be honest with you.
All right.
I haven't said this out loud in public yet.
Uh-oh.
And there's only 101 people watching.
Uh-oh.
Before last year, I didn't know who Taylor Swift was.
All right. You're fired.
I really didn't.
The Weekend Warrior is now just Mr. AZ Sports because Ralph is no longer with us.
I'm an 80s guy, right? So I grew up in the 80s with all that. I had no idea. I had no idea who she was. So when I saw the commotion, I was like, what is this? Who is this? And why is this a big deal?
I understand that because I don't know a lot from 90s or 80s music.
Right.
So like if I get that, but I don't know. I think it's great for the league. I think it's very entertaining. And also it's funny when I have friends that text me like, oh, the Chiefs won. I'm like, why are you ready for the Chiefs? Taylor Swift. I'm like, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
So let me ask you this. Here's another football question. How does Russell Wilson do in Pittsburgh?
I have no...
I'm hearing a lot of negatives.
I can't make a decision.
Really?
I am so...
In life in general or about Russell Wilson?
Both.
Okay. That explains why you're not dating anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I did... No, that's a longer story. We're going to not go on to that, my dating life. We can do an episode on that once. We did that on the Bender pretty much.
We can't go back there.
We can't. We did. You missed it. It was on the Daily Bender that I got roasted about my dating life for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. It was brutal.
It was pretty bad.
But I can't. I see both sides. I could see them. Tomlin. When has he ever been bad?
Great coach.
When has he ever coached
Best
a bad
coach
team?
in football. Would you argue
Right
that?
now, yes.
Right. Best coach.
Bill Belichick.
He takes the worst teams and gets to the playoffs.
Bill Belichick.
But think about that. He takes the worst teams with no talent and gets to the playoffs and gets to the Super Bowl with who at quarterback? Think about some of the quarterbacks he's taken to the Super Bowl.
Bill Belichick. I'm sorry. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time.
You take Brady away from the Patriots, and is he the greatest coach of all time?
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely does matter.
Brady was on the Patriots with Bill Belichick.
Take him away. Is he the best coach ever? Because think about Tomlin's talent level. He didn't have a Brady.
You're right. You're right on that, but you can't take it away because it happened.
But this is a hypothetical world.
I don't do hypotheticals.
Well, you need to start doing them. Not
That's like saying,
hypotheticals.
hypothetically, if I had abs, would I still be single? No.
Yes, you would.
Probably. But I want to say they're going to be good because of Tomlin. Wilson struggled last season.
No, he didn't. He had a better year last year. Now, think about Wilson's year last year. He had a coach who hated him.
That's fair.
He didn't like him.
That's so fair.
He told him after week 9 that basically you're going to sit.
It's so fair.
So this guy was playing in that kind of environment where it was pretty hostile for him. Now, think what you think about Russell Wilson, right? People think he's cringy. The more I've been following Russell Wilson since his rookie year, I mean, he really is that guy that cares about the community, cares about people.
100%.
His cringiness is kind of real. It's not a forced cringy. Now his wife ruined it. We can talk about his wife. His wife ruined that guy. Completely
For sure.
ruined him because the minute he got married, his game went down. But anyway, we'll go. That's another show. But he had a good year last year. And he's going to a team now where Tomlin, who is a player's coach, is going to embrace him openly and say, this is your team. Go for it. Let's make this happen. Now he's got Justin Fields behind him. I have my opinions about Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields needs a couple years to really be under him to understand more. His game could be there, but it's not there yet. Russell Wilson with Mike Tomlin can do damage, I think. The question people are saying is, who's he going to throw to?
The Cardinals not hiring Sean Payton
Best move ever.
Might have been, and getting Jonathan Gannon.
Best move ever.
Might go, and how much we would have had to trade and give up might go down as the best what if to never happen
Absolutely.
in Arizona sports ever.
Absolutely.
Because I will own it up. You can go find my tweets. I was begging the Cardinals to get Peyton here. Begging. Like I was almost like praying, like, please bring me Peyton. And then we didn't trade picks. We didn't have to give up all that money. And we got Jonathan Gannon. The biggest, that was my worst take of all time.
Whenever you have a coach that you think you want, these named coaches.
You don't want them.
I'm going to go back to S. This is going way back. This is early 2000. When SC was looking for a coach, and Tommy Tuberville and a couple other guys were really big back then, and they were looking for work. And I was like, let's get one of these names. Let's bring him in. They hired Pete Carroll. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And it was great.
Who is this guy? Turn the program around. Jonathan Gannon. Going to turn the program around.
It's the same,
I like him.
It's the same.
He's a good coach. He's the most competent coach you've had
Since Arians.
By far. And I kind of think he could be better than Arians in the long run. I really do. We'll see. But I really like what he does. I think he's going to take the Cardinals in the right direction. I really do.
100%. And that's, man, I just can't get over that. We dodged a bullet.
When I go back to Steelers and I look at Tomlin, I'm like, Tomlin with Russell Wilson, people might get surprised this year. I think they will.
I could see it.
Because now everybody's like, they're going to finish last place. I'm telling you, I am not a Steeler fan. I can't stand the Steelers for what they did to the Seahawks in Super Bowl 40, that cheating Vince. Just absolute cheating and just BS, right? I haven't gotten over it yet. But I'm just saying, I think with Tomlin and Russell Wilson together, it's going to be interesting.
Well, that's it, guys. We have it set for 11:30, right?
11:30, yeah.
So
one last chat. When Brady left the Patriots, went downhill, and who was coaching the team still? Bill Belichick. Sal's got it.
You're not wrong, but still, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. I'll say this about the Steelers. I give them
cut off here.
7 to 10 wins in that range.
We'll see. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us. 102 viewers. Really appreciate it for our first X. We'll be back next week at 10 o'clock. We're back on the radio, and then we'll be live on X as well. Please come back and join us as we work down to our new show on September 1st. Really appreciate everyone joining us.
Toodaloo!
See you guys.